And we are back live once again here on the Cowboys Report. Tom Downey, producer Stone Shields behind the scenes on today's show. It is College Football 25 early release day. Can't wait for that. But we're still going to do the entirety of today's normal Monday live show. And that begins with the first round of the wide receiver voting for Cowboys legends. Now, I'll be honest. I think wide receiver is the hardest batch to get through because there are so many good, or in this case, not actually good, but like funny candidates. Laurent Robinson, LR, KO for Kevin Ogletree, RS for Ryan Switzer, LL for Lance Lenoir, DS for Devin Street. I wanted to put like John Vay Johnson on there, but I didn't really think that one was going to materialize as like a good enough because that was just too many people don't know who that one is. I think all of these are awesome. And I think we'll do maybe a fourth round of wide receiver voting if I feel like it too near the end because there's a lot of good options in there. In the pinned poll right now, Kevin Ogletree has the narrow lead over, well, I guess I did it wrong in the Devin Street, Ryan Switzer combo vote, which was different than what it was on Twitter and on the YouTube community. So I kind of felt good about merging those two together. Oh well. Lance Lenoir, Laurent Robinson, 15%. I guess actually Street and Switzer being at 32 isn't that far off. It kind of ends up being a little close to everyone getting 15. Pick your Cowboys legend at the wide receiver spot. LR, KO, RS, LL, and DS. I've got as the Cowboys add more players to the Ring of Honor, we will add more meme versions of them as well. But we've got this going all the way up until week 1 of the season. And then we'll be at our maximum. Timing actually works out pretty well to do a live show every day. So get your votes in for the Cowboys legend, the first one at wide receiver. Plenty of other names still to come. I'm a little surprised Robinson is losing to Lance Lenoir. There's people I know felt very strongly about that one. But get your votes in. LR, KO, RS, LL, or DS in the comments. Now, we will talk about the ESPN top quarterback rankings on today's show. Where do you rank Dak among NFL QBs? I'll say no wrong answer because it's just a matter of opinion. Although if you're putting something like 35 in there, yes, you are wrong. But I don't think we're going to see very many 35s from that perspective. So rank Dak for me among NFL QBs. Ecuador Man's got him at 13. CD says top 100. Okay, also not technically wrong, I guess. Top 10, 5th. I don't know about that one. 100th, 8th. 5th again, 7th from Rashard Lee, top 5 from Logan, 7 again from Rashard Lee, 6 from Brokov, another 6 from Ricardo Robinson. So far, no one has where ESPN actually put him in there. So I'm very, very curious if anyone ends up doing that one there. It is, Danny goes, which is your playoffs? Fair question, if we're being honest, fair question. And the answer is all of it. That's the whole picture, right? You have to do a combination of both. And you can have different how you weight it, but it's all of it. That's how it works. 4, 2, Dak was 2 last year. Is technically true because he was second in MVP voting and second team All-Pro. CD still only top 1 in the playoffs, top 5 regular season. Well, he is, even if you filter by just playoffs, he actually kind of is still top 10. But it's just near the bottom of that top 10. Brokov's got Mahomes, Burrow, Stafford, Rodgers, Herbert, then Dak. 7 from your boy, T-Mac 32. Keep the comments coming and rank Dak Prescott for me among all the different NFL QBs. Now here's today's super chat menu. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap, $100 to get all through the bong, slap, and shot trio pack. I've got my free PTO day, thanks to Anthony McMillan. Chris has his free PTO day, thanks to Anthony McMillan. Stone does not. Chris and I are off Sunday. We're taking the weekend off to have extra time to play CFB 25. Stone does not have that set up yet. So we'll see. We'll see if Stone gets that today. You're feeling a little bit disappointed, aren't you? Yeah. So Stone's on the outside looking in. That is today's super chat menu. I also want you guys to grade the Cowboys offseason so far. We'll look at some other moves this team can still make, one of which they should have absolutely done already. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the Cowboys offseason so far for me. A lot of low grades is fair. I don't know of many people who are like, yeah, this was a really good offseason. There are definitely some, because I can't get anything more than like 75% agreement on anything in the world. It's just how it works these days. Grade the Cowboys offseason. A, B, C, D, or F in the comments. I see a 0.0. That's an F. D minus, F plus, C, D, F, C. I did see one C in there, or one B in there briefly, although he's now changed it to a C. D, 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 C, F plus, F, D, 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 C, 0.0, F plus, F off season, C, F and C. Yeah, that actually does sound kind of funny. It was not a good one. I think however you felt about it, if you wanted to try to win games now, or if you wanted to tear it down and rebuild, neither thing was actually accomplished. Now, in addition to our live Cowboys report, the early access for College Football 25 arrives today. I am very excited to play that, and I'm going to be the bad parent. And whenever I get home and wife's playing volleyball, Olivia's getting screen time. She's getting a laptop, and she'll watch The Amazing Spider-Man and Friends, and I'm playing College Football 25. I don't care. Who was the first team we're doing a dynasty with in CFB 25? I think I'm going to stick with my guns and boot up Miami of Ohio, first thing, the old alma mater. I think I'm probably one of the better Miami of Ohio dynasty players. Because I was still, even up to like 2020, I was still playing it online with people, or the group of us, and I won a championship with Miami of Ohio, and then the head coach was like retweeting it because he thought it was hilarious. Yeah, Chuck was. I see TCU, Texas, Colorado, Cal. Don't play video games, but Gold Nose. That's fair. I like that. That intro is going to be electric, I think, for FSU. That's going to be very cool. Cal, TCU, NDSU, San Diego, Colorado. Quack, quack, go Ducks from Brian. Joker says pay Lamb. Always accurate. Louisville Cardinals is in there. Wait, is NDSU in? I don't think they're in there yet. I don't think FCS is in there. Although rumors that they're going to add FCS teams in like December or something. Louisville. Another TCU. San Diego's a fun one in there. Louisville's defense is going to be really good in the game, I think, because they're actually pretty darn good in real life. Nevada, UT. I assume that's Texas and not the Tennessee version. I think every year Tennessee and Texas should play, and the winner gets to go by UT for the remainder of the year until they play next. I think that's fair. MSU, I don't know if that's Michigan State or Mississippi State. Either way, that's probably Michigan State. Penn State, James Madison. That'll be fun to play as them. Penn State's gonna have some. Penn State's got Mo Bamba as the intro. Oh, it's gonna. I can't wait to set it to whiteout and do that. Oh, it's gonna be incredible. Oregon State, that's fun. Another TCU in there as well. If you want us to start today's show, then like the video for me right now if you haven't already done so. We will have a full show for you. Like it if you want us to get today's show started, because you should always like things before we get started with it. Now, coming up on today's live show, we'll do some news and rumors on the Dallas Cowboys. A mailbag. Get your questions in right now via hashtag Cowboys. Save some time of having to ask for them there. Any questions, comments you got, get them in via hashtag Cowboys. Also break down 5, I think, fairly realistic moves, even for Dallas, this for the remainder of the offseason before camp. And we'll have our Cowboys versus Eagles Madden sim. Cowboys win that game. They clinch the number 1 seed, and we get to start Trey Lance in Week 18. All coming up live here on the Cowboys Report. On today's edition of the Cowboys Report, looking at the ESPN top 10 rankings of quarterbacks that have come out, plus the QBs that just missed out. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I'm going to raise the panic level on Luke Schoonmaker up 1 notch based on what the Dallas Morning News has written. And Justin Simmons rumors, for some reason, have now emerged for the Cowboys. This is the July like battle status, by the way. The Raiders have closed ground on us. We are now barely up by 1,000. They cut that lead in half. Do not let the Raiders catch up to us. Like the video. Let's make sure we come out on top this month. So ESPN doing their position ranking series here. Top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Dak Prescott did make that list. However, after being number 9 last season, And then following it up with the number 2 MVP voting season, second team All-Pro, he actually dropped down one spot. He was as high as number 7 and as low as unranked. I'll make note that all the QBs above him got a top 5 vote, some of which make sense, some of which do not. Here is the ESPN top 10 QB list. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I do think that top 4 is right. Even if you want to argue who's 2, who's 3, who's 4, that's fine. I think those are your 4 best quarterbacks. Then some interesting spots. Matthew Stafford is 5, which he was 10 last year, skyrocketed up. Justin Herbert, 6. CJ Stroud was 7. 8 was Aaron Rodgers coming off the injury. Jared Goff is number 9, who also jumps Dak in this conversation. And Prescott was number 10. Here's what one NFC executive told ESPN about Dak. He always does well enough to be in the top 10, but never gets over the hump. He makes all the throws. He's playing the position at a high level, but something's missing. There's a lot of factors in that, from the running game, play calling, defense. Dallas hasn't won in a long while. But certain guys are going to elevate their team late in the game, and Dak doesn't seem to do that. Something similar from an NFL personnel director who I think phrased it in a little bit better fashion. He's lacking that high-end ceiling. Plays the position really well, but not an elite passer that Mahomes and Allen are. They need to support him in those big matchups. He's really good, but not quite good enough to elevate the entire team in those matchups. I actually think that's all pretty fair and accurate because that's what we've seen come playoff time several seasons in a row. He's not the same caliber of quarterback as Mahomes, Allen from a physically gifted skill set. I think that's absolutely accurate. I also think that some of those same critiques apply to several of the quarterbacks above him. I think there's an uneven application of the standards here. We're talking about not elevating the QB in big games. Dak beat multiple of those quarterbacks ahead of him and outplayed the quarterbacks in those games. But the other guy gets put ahead of them for whatever reason in the end. So we'll come back to this more in depth, and I know this is always a fiery conversation. Where do you rank Dak Prescott among NFL QBs? He's not 1. Let's not be crazy here. I don't think he's top 5. Where would you rank him? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. I think he needs to be top 10. And to be fair, there's a lot of good quarterback play right now. But dropping the MVP runner-up honestly doesn't make a ton of sense to me when we're skyrocketing other players on that list. Look, I think overall, there's a lot of really good quarterback play right now. Not the same Mahomes, Allen guys, but if you was about like fringe top 10 quarterbacks, yeah, the 10 that they just mentioned, and the honorable mention list also has really good quarterbacks going on right now. Brock Purdy was number 11. Jordan Love, if you ignore the first half of the season, it's like 2 quarterbacks that played better than him down the stretch last season. Hurts was not as good last year. I'm fine dropping him from that list. Any argument you would make against Dak Prescott applies probably even more so to Tua, by the way. Kirk Cousins to maybe a similar extent there. I would not be surprised if Trevor Lawrence is back in the top 10 conversation. He was really good to start. You kind of want the inverse of the Jordan Love campaign. Good to start the year, and then got hurt and did not play very well down the stretch. I'm also not taking Jared Goff over Dak Prescott. I get the Lions had a great run. That's a better coaching staff with better play calling and, frankly, a better supporting cast overall. I am also very confused why Stafford jumped from 10 to 5. Now, this ESPN list has always been super high on Stafford. Even coming off the injury last year, he was still in that top 10 range. I am surprised to see him jump as high as he did. If we're going to make the argument that Dak didn't elevate his team in big games, which at times is very much true, we're going to put Herbert on that list? Yeah, I think he should be, but same application of standards, right? I'm also very anxious, by the way, about some of the older guys. Aaron Rodgers coming off the injury scares me. Like, Rodgers will be a Hall of Famer. Dak right now is absolutely not. But for 1 year, I'd be a little bit anxious coming off the torn Achilles. Maybe give him more benefit of the doubt because it's Aaron Rodgers, but that is a red flag for me. Also, Dak beat the Lions last year, and would have beat the Dolphins too if the defense could have gotten stopped. Now, you can get the Cowboys turnover chain, speaking of the defense here, by going to chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. It is the same chain I'm rocking minus the different color of the chain links there. Links will be in the comments section and the description of today's show, chatsports.com/CowboysChain. I might be reading too much into this, but Dallas Morning News did their top 5 breakout candidate list, mostly expected names. 2 tight ends on that list, even with Jake Ferguson on the roster. And it was Princeton Fant and John Stevens Jr. Nowhere was Luke Schoonmaker on that conversation piece. So my first thought was, okay, you got Jake Ferguson. You're predicting 2 breakouts at tight end. Where does that leave Luke Schoonmaker? I still think Schoonmaker makes this team. The way his contract is set up, you're not going to move on from him so quickly, and the Cowboys almost never move on from draft picks that quickly. Like, it pretty much just never happens. That's not how they operate, because they like their guys, right? Now, Schoonmaker was a colossal disappointment in year 1. There's no way around that. It was that entire draft class, because Overshow got hurt in particular, really, really disappointed relative to what the Cowboys opened for in terms of an impact. So I'm reading tea leaves here. Flags going off on that front there. So are you worried about Luke Schoonmaker and his potential impact short-term, long-term as a member of the Dallas Cowboys? Y for yes, N for no. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comments section of today's video. However you slice it, Luke Schoonmaker was a bust in year 1. He did not contribute remotely like he needed to. With the emergence of Jake Ferguson, I just need Schoonmaker to become a good tight end 2 option. I don't need him to start. I need him to be able to block, catch passes, and that actually does unlock some extra offensive elements. We spent all this time talking about who's going to be your wide receiver 3. Well, what if Schoonmaker earns those roles and you can do more 2 tight end sets? That kind of changes your numbers a little bit in the running game and the passing game. Now, look, I might be reading too much in the Dallas Morning News breakout list of 2 other tight ends, Fant and Stevens, over Schoonmaker. But both of those guys getting hyped over him, when I saw that, alarm bells started going off in my head, because you're picking 2 younger tight ends and going from undrafted free agents in the same class as Schoonmaker to, you know what, they're going to break out. Red flags. Red flags left and right. So I am worried about Luke Schoonmaker. It is a key training camp coming up for him. We are making progress on beating our sub numbers from last July, but still have some room to go. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Help us beat that number and, frankly, crush that number on today's show. How about Justin Simmons and the Dallas Cowboys? Simmons kind of accidentally or not created this viral moment, whatever. He was rocking one of those upside-down Dallas hats. The ones I'm talking about, the one that the Ben DiNucci company right there, at his Florida youth camp. So you got a guy from the Northeast who played his entire career in Denver at a Florida youth camp wearing a Dallas hat. That's weird. Simmons, I think, is one of, if not the outright best free agent left unsigned on the open market. I think he'd be a good fit in the Mike Zimmer defense. We talked about Simmons, of the top 5 free agents who could start, right? Because he's so good. Safety is not a need for Dallas. They have Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson. I think Marquise Bell's going to go back there to safety number 3. Wanye Thomas is there. You could maybe try Israel Mukwamu as well. They've got pieces. They've got options in the back end. But it is Justin Simmons. You know, this would be one of your biggest free agency signings in a long time, even if it is in the mid to late part of July. So would you sign Justin Simmons if you ran the Cowboys? S for sign, P for pass. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comment section of today's show. Justin Simmons is I think the best NFL free agent left at this time. His ability to play in the box, back deep, strong, free, whatever you want to call it, I think he'd fit really well in a Mike Zimmer defense because of his interchangeability. I think he'd be a fantastic addition for the Cowboys. On the field, it makes sense of just you're adding talent to an organization. Safety is not much of a need, and I think that could cause issues from the Cowboys' organizational perspective. Most importantly, in theory, Simmons is out of your price range, even if it is July. If you go above $5 million per year, Dallas ain't going to pay you. They've done that like once in the last 10 years in free agency since Brandon Carr. They just don't pay it. Also of note, Dak Prescott, Justin Simmons, well, they just so happen to share the same agent. And I don't know how great that agent front office relationship is right now, which doesn't actually narrow it down very much, but specifically for the Todd France one there, I don't think that's a good thing for Dallas. I don't think you're going to be able to have that great relationship of the agent steering them to you. You'd have to win the potential bidding war. And that's just not how Dallas operates in free agency / at all. It is mailbag time here on today's Cowboys Report. There are 2 ways to get on the show. You can use hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat to skip the line on today's video. I see Food Review has already got his hashtag Cowboys question in. Get a bunch of them in there. The more questions we get, the better. If you want to guarantee that you get yourself on the show, you got to use hashtag, you got to Super Chat, Super Chat is a guaranteed way of getting on the show here. Hashtag Cowboys, it's a little bit more complicated. It requires producer Chris to see your question, find your question, and bring that up as well. So again, 2 ways to get on. Hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat to skip the line altogether for today's show. Not a ton of hashtag Cowboys questions, so please get them in for me in the comments section of today's show. I want to open up full screen, by the way, on this. So I want to open up with that one. Transition into the... We had a fun super thanks that you'll see here in a little bit. But again, folks, hashtag Cowboys is the key to getting on the show. You guys are watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We are doing one of our mailbags. We answer all your questions live here on the Cowboys Report with a few, or I guess one, exception. Namely, if you super thanks. It is a feature here on YouTube, allows you to donate on-demand videos as opposed to just, outside of the live shows. You only super chat. Now you can super thanks on demand here as well. It is a feature on YouTube. Just edit your message, send in whatever you're trying to send in. And I have said before, as long as you're not being mean to other people, I will put almost anything on the show. I've said you can put Tom, you suck, and we'll put it on the show if it's a super thanks. Well, it happened. Sir Wilbert delivers. He says, Tom, you suck, with a bunch of emojis in there. I love how he's having the Sean Oakman profile picture as well. So, Sir Wilbert, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad somebody delivered on that side, too. All right, from B-Phil's10, a more normal super thanks that's not as funny. I think our defense will be much better when Diggs comes back. As long as he stays healthy, he and Bland together are one of the best quarterback combos in the league. I would agree with that. I think that Diggs and Bland, playmaking-wise, is probably the best combo in the NFL. And when you're a playmaking corner, you allow some big plays as well as part of the trade-off. I suspect that Mike Zimmer is going to dial things back a little bit and cut down on some of the big plays on both sides of the ball. Is probably going to be his one of his key focal points right there. It does require Diggs to come back healthy. Again, we've talked about return to play versus return to performance. Never happened with Gallup. Has yet to happen with Terrence Steele. We'll see what the timeline looks like there for Trayvon Diggs. I do wonder when we talk about the defense being better, which version of the defense are we talking about? The best version of Dan Quinn, even just look at last year, the first half-ish of the season, top 5 unit. Down the stretch, with that Seahawks game and beyond, that was a bottom 3 defense. They were not good. They were wildly reliant on turnovers. They were not efficient at getting off the field, stopping big plays. They actually didn't play well at all down the stretch last season. So overall, it was still a pretty consistent top 5, top 10 unit under Dan Quinn. What will it be like with Mike Zimmer? Will the defense be better in 2024? B for better. S for it's going to be about the same. W for you're panicking, it's going to be worse. So the ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. B, S, or W. Ecuador man, why do people get so mad at quarterback rankings? Too accurate. Well, everyone always thinks that, and this is true in many different areas, the media is out to get them. I've already seen the ESPN rigged the list to put Dak Prescott lower claim. I don't think that's true at all. It's also a matter of opinions. So you're not always going to agree with the opinions. I've seen a lot worse lists than the ESPN list. It's not quite what I would have done. That's what makes this fun. That we can look at the same thing and see slightly different things and see different angles and perspectives and pros and cons, and what your value system is going to be a little bit different than what your friend's value system is. I think that's probably more frequently shown to be true in the draft, but I think it applies to this as well. So it's a little bit of everything, I suppose, from that point. But I do appreciate that super chat, and it's a good one as well. From Food Review, what is your in-depth Nightmare Cowboys 2025 NFL draft scenario? Okay, so I think you got to start with the offseason. And I think your nightmare scenario is you haven't paid anybody. Now, let's pretend they pay CeeDee Lamb for my own mental sanity. They pay CeeDee Lamb. They don't get a deal done with Dak Prescott. He goes to the Dolphins or something, which I'm actually terrified of happening. Tua is a free agent, but Dallas wasn't going to pay Dak what he wanted. They're not going to give Tua $55 million. Tua goes somewhere else. The Cowboys enter the draft with Trey Lance back on a one-year deal, and Jacoby Brissett, who got cut by the Patriots, or like Sam Howell they signed him. He got like another he's probably not your guy. The Cowboys don't spend any money in free agency because they're trying to protect that third-round comp pick they're going to get for Dak Prescott. So they don't spend any money. They lose Osa Odigizua. Mozzie Smith does not emerge. So you enter the draft with, you need a quarterback. You're still looking for another number 2 receiver to pair with CeeDee Lamb. Running back's a giant hole. Offensive line plays decently. Let's pretend that Terrence Steele was fine and he's back, or he's cut, whatever. DT has a hole. Edge is in an okay shape. Corner, you're fine for the short term. And the nightmare scenario, if you don't have a quarterback in Dak, is this year's draft class at QB, nobody really emerges. 1 or 2 guys do. Carson Beck, whatever with Shadur Sanders or Quinn Ewers, they all go top 10. You're picking 24 again. And the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks that were viewed as first-round guys are off the board. And you're kind of caught going, what do we do? There isn't a top 50 quarterback left. It's the Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder draft class all over again. You going to go with the first running back off the board? You're looking at a DT? And you're kind of stuck in this forced rebuilding mode. And because you screwed up this past offseason, you don't really have yourself set up for success to rebuild. From Marco May, would you trade away Donovan Wilson or another safety? I assume we're trying to get like Marquise Bell or Wanye Thomas out there on the field more. You have safety depth. If it could help you short-term or long-term, maybe I'd have some interest in doing it. I think, again, for now, I'm not trying to trade players away, especially young guys that are fairly cost-effective. I could revisit that further into training camp at the trade deadline. To be honest, guys, if you're got 2 wins at the trade deadline, which I don't think you will, but if you do, sell some of your veteran asset pieces. Donovan Wilson or Malik Hooker could be in that conversation. I don't think you'll be there, but that's something you could potentially revisit. I do think you don't do it now because you want to really let Mike Zimmer see what he has on defense and how those guys are going to fit in to his system. So should the Cowboys trade for a safety? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comments section of today's show. CD Productions. If Dak doesn't exceed expectations next season, would Dallas draft, start Lance, or Rush? Well, they're not going to start Cooper Rush. There's really no benefits to trying to make Cooper Rush start. He's a good backup. That's what he is. He was a free agent, and there was zero interest in him being a starter in the NFL. He's just not that guy. Trey Lance is the ultimate unknown. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's not. I think training camp will matter a lot for him. The preseason will matter a lot for him. I think that's what is, at least in part, for some exciting, for some terrifying. Dak's not your guy. You don't know what that quarterback spot's going to look like next year. Trey Lance could end up looking like the number 3 overall pick, and boom, you've got a guy with more physical upside than Dak Prescott does. Maybe he can be your top 5 QB. Now, you have to pay him soon, kind of losing out on some of the benefits of that. You can draft somebody. The draft's a total crapshoot. It could be a boat. It could be tickets to a comedy show. It's not always good. Sometimes it is, which makes it entertaining and fun and also nerve-wracking as well. Now, if you want to be a part of our Cowboys mailbags, you just got to subscribe. It really is that simple. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Daniel M., I would absolutely love to add Justin Simmons on the Cowboys system this year, but Todd France is his agent. I think the Cowboys don't like France. Yeah. What is the real issue, the underlying issue here is it's not just Todd France that has issues with the Cowboys front office, and in particular, Stephen Jones. It is not regarded as a front office that is the easiest to work with. And there is an expectation that if you play some hardball, they will eventually cave. And it's easier to play hardball when you can tell the players the first offer was really bad. It is not a Todd France unique thing. And that's one of the issues you kind of run into. From William Cook, would Big Mike be fired if the Cowboys had a 3-game or longer losing streak? I honestly don't think so. Now, maybe if it's like you had 2 different 4-game losing streaks and it's week 17, sure, maybe. But I don't think that happens. B, Jerry doesn't want to pay people who aren't working for him, which pisses me off because it's stupid. Maximize your team. But they'll let Mike play out his contract. They could have fired him last year, and nobody would have batted an eye. Nobody. Now, I'll just let him play it out. I mean, shit, they let Garrett, when the entire world knew he was not going to be back, they still let him show up to work for like a week afterwards. It was they were doing a playoff game when they fired Garrett. Or invited him not to return. They'll let Mike coach it out. They will. From Stephen Murray, will Kevontae Turpin get used on offense finally? I think what you saw from Turpin last year is about what you'll see this year. I think we do have to remember this about Turpin. As fun and as electric as he is, Kevontae Turpin is really small. He's 5'9", 155 soaking wet. He's not big. And 155 is about as small as you will find of an NFL player. That is 0th percentile for weight. You don't find guys that are that small in the NFL. He's the smallest. So he can't take the physical beating of being a running back, being an outside receiver, being more than a gadget guy. And they have to think they have to scheme stuff for Kevontae Turpin. And if you're going to scheme stuff for Turpin, well, should you just scheme stuff for CeeDee Lamb instead, since he's better? I think that's the issue they run into. Plus, he's small, and they don't want Cooks and Turpin out there at that size. Now, I'm down if you want to try to get him more gadget stuff. I have no complaints there. So name a player you want to get more playing time. Drop that name for me in the comments. Robert Vasquez, is it possible our 2024 leading rusher isn't yet on our roster? Yeah, I think it is possible. I don't know if it's the most likely outcome, but I don't think any of us would be surprised if you got to, week 4, week 5, and the lead back is somebody who was on your team at the start of the preseason. Last one here from Brokov. Let's say Dak does Dallas a favor and waives his no-trade clause for a certain team. Who do you think that is, and what's the return? So in a bubble, independent of outside factors, it should be similar to the Deshaun Watson trade, the Russell Wilson trade. Now, you might have some pause from other teams of those trades didn't work out great for those organizations. But it's also not in a bubble. And I really don't think there's any benefit. I don't really think Dak's going to waive his no-trade clause for 2 reasons. One, deep down, he does want to be a Cowboy. And I think the Cowboys are kind of banking on him taking less to stick around to a certain extent. He also knows, he's a smart guy, well, why would I get a trade to a new team, have them give up assets to acquire me, and then not have as good of a roster around me? I could stay in Dallas and have a good roster versus maybe having a worse roster and still get paid, or hit free agency and not have that new team cost me extra money. So if he does waive that no trade clause for one team in particular, this is not a good trade negotiation team. he's worth a lot more, you might get like a second-round pick back because the leverage is still, even if he waives that no-trade clause for one team, still does not benefit the Cowboys at all. Let's talk Cowboys legend voting here. This is the first of several wide receiver rounds. Who you got? LR for Laurent Robinson. They got 22% of the vote right now at the pin poll. KO for Kevin Ogletree's got 40%. Lance Lenore's got 13%. The Devin Street, Ryan Switzer combo is at 25%. I kind of feel like whatever two players I would have picked to merge would have been around 25 or higher percent. Because you can put that on the difference, and it's like, 12, 13% from that perspective. Bopper Top's like, where's Sam Hurd? Stay tuned. Stay tuned for Sam Hurd. He'll be on a future one. He is in the actual NFL legend group for drug dealing. You ever hear the Sam Hurd story? I'll tell you about the Sam Hurd story. It was with the Bears when he got caught. He was dealing a lot of drugs. It was a lot. Antonio Bryant, he'll be on a future list as well. Those are great names as well. So get those votes in, LRKORSLLDS for the 5 guys on that list. This is today's Super Chat menu. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap, $100 for the bong, slap, and shot trio combo pack. Stone is the only one who didn't get a free PTO day yet. You're the only one yet, which the game is now out. Can't wait to play that tonight once Olivia's going to get screen time tonight. She's getting screen time, and I'm playing that. That's just today's Super Chat menu. $300 for Stone to get his own free PTO day. My fingers are crossed for you, bud. But by the way, as an aside here, apparently Jordan Addison, after his DUI arrest, was posting him drinking a mimosa. What are you doing, dude? What on earth are you doing? At that point, might be a bit of a. That's probably it might be more than just bad decision making. You might have a bit of a problem there. Anyway, Super Chat menu is on screen there. We'll break that down again later after this upcoming segment here on the Cowboys Report. On today's show, looking at 5 moves I can actually realistically see the Cowboys making before the start of training camp. This is not even, it's technically possible. It's actually very doable for Dallas, and moves that, at least a few of them, they probably should make. Of course, it is the Cowboys, and it's been a bad offseason so far for them. Speaking of that, I know how most of these votes are going to come in, but grade the Cowboys offseason so far. A, B, C, D, or F. How do you feel about what the Cowboys have done so far this offseason? Let me know in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. How do you feel about what the Cowboys have done so far in a not very good 2024 campaign? So first up on my realistic moves, it was the free square this offseason. It was doing a deal for CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys have waited, and they have cost themselves money in the process instead of being urgent and operating with urgency as far back as a year ago. The wide receiver market now features Amon-Ra St. Brown at $30 million per year, A.J. Brown at $32, Justin Jefferson at $35. If the report is to be believed, at minimum, Lamb wants $32. Maybe he's asking for more, but he's not going to go below $32, and the Cowboys will offer more. He's going to demand a trade type of deal. Wouldn't shock me. Pay him. Give him $33, $34 million per year. Give him $100-ish million guaranteed. This is a superstar caliber receiver who's gotten better every single year of his NFL career and continues to showcase he's probably not done getting better. And if you're ranking who's going to be the best receiver in the NFL the next 4 to 5 years, Lamb's in the top 3 with Jefferson and Chase. There's one reason to not get a deal done with CeeDee Lamb. It's organizational incompetence. And don't hit me with the playoff game. Yeah, he wasn't good enough. You know who didn't make an impact in his last playoff game? Justin Jefferson. You cannot apply this. You got to be consistent with your application of complaints. You have to be. And we only apply it to certain players sometimes. I get there's playoff frustration. If you want to win games now, the next 2 years, you need your number one receiver. If you're going to rebuild and tear it down with the new quarterback, that new quarterback is going to be maximized with a number one receiver. Don't trade him away. It would be an organizational failure and incompetence that would just have me livid every day I wake up in the morning if they don't pay CeeDee Lamb before the start of this season. If you are on board with me, if you want to pay CeeDee Lamb, spam me in the comment section. I think it's a no-brainer. I think it makes way too much sense. So type it multiple times if you need to at the pinned comment of today's show. If an ad comes on YouTube here, great, take advantage of that time. Go spam me in the comments. Realistic move number 2. The Cowboys signed somebody that you probably haven't heard of. That's been on brand for the Cowboys this offseason. Not making a lot of moves. They signed a couple different UFL players, and there are a handful of players they worked out from the UFL who are still unsigned. Now, Noah Dawkins, DeAndre Baker seem least likely since they already signed Garyon Conley and signed Willie Harvey. But would it be a shock to anybody if they get right before the start of camp and they go, we've signed Jonathan Garvin? Would anyone be surprised by that? I think it's not really random, but like close to a random signing would be on brand. Or some other guy that wasn't in the NFL, like when they brought back Damian Wilson, who spent time on the practice squad. Like that caliber of move, I don't think would be a huge surprise. I would love to get another defensive tackle and a running back. And we'll push the level of realism just a little bit on those two here in just a moment. But first, if you want to get the Cowboys turnover chain, the one that I wear whenever the Cowboys make a turnover in real life or in the Madden sim, get yours today over at chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It does look like that. It's got the navy chain links versus the silver, but it's the same foam front of the Cowboys icon itself. Go to chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Number 3 is a surprise extension, which the Cowboys have done before. La'el Collins, Jalen Smith. You guys are taking a little bit less than top of the market. We'll pay you first. That's happened many a time before from the Cowboys. Now, there are options for Dallas we'll get to here of those extension candidates. I kind of think Dak might be in that conversation, by the way. I am not putting him on, I think that's more of a surprise. I don't know if that's going to get done. Mike, I don't think it's done this year either. Osa Odigizua would be a classic Cowboys surprise extension. He takes a bit less. You bank on a breakout, kind of like when they paid Tyron Crawford, right? Zach Martin already got paid once. Could you do it again? Get him to not retire next year? We'll see. Your wild surprise one would be Trey Lance, among other names that we could get to on a future video. If the Cowboys do something, if they sign somebody, if they extend somebody, we will have a video for you as long as I'm in the country, which, the Cowboys do stuff when I take vacations. Maybe I should take a vacation. Maybe we'll call the PTO day for CFB 25 part of that. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/Cowboys TV. All right, let's push the envelope here a little bit. How about trading for a running back? Or if you want to cheat and do after training camp, letting somebody get cut at roster cut down time. I think there is still a need for a running back. Help is still needed in this room. Do we have great faith in players like Ezekiel Elliott, and Enrico Dowdle, and Deuce Vaughn, Royce Freeman, Malik Davis? Lipke, I think, is still more of a fullback than a full-time running back for this team. Nathaniel Pete was a backup at Missouri. Snoop Connor. It's not a good running back room. Could you find an upgrade or another complimentary piece? Maybe. 5 of the bigger names here, and the number you see below is what the Cowboys would pay them for a year. Dameon Pierce. I don't think he's available. I want to make that clear, but his name always gets mentioned. Same with Tyler Algier. I don't think he's available because those teams don't have a good backup option behind their other guy, Nick Mixon and Bijan. Khalil Herbert, though, if he can't win the RB2 job behind Roschon Johnson, I'd call about him. Miles Sanders, I'm not paying him $4.22 million. I could have paid Zach Moss that, and Moss was way more efficient than Sanders last season. If he gets cut, though, worth mentioning, the Dolphins have a glut of running backs. How about Jeff Wilson? Good fit. Israel Abanikanda brings something this team doesn't have, namely juice, athletic juice. He is great height, weight, speed profile guy. I think you could use that explosive playability there. If Braylon Allen is the number 2 back and they just drafted Isaiah Davis, maybe Abanikanda gets forced out. Michael Carter's due actually a lot of money by Arizona, but they're not going to trade James Conner, so I'll mention him. Could Elijah Mitchell be on the outs? Would be a huge surprise. Other names, Justice Hill, Pierre Strong, I think those are probably more cut candidates, but if you want to be aggressive and get a running back, if you get, you don't trust your room, spot you should consider addressing. So of these moves here, folks, how many end up happening? How many moves go down? We'll get to the 5th one here in a second, obviously. How many moves happen for the Cowboys? Is it all 5? Can I just get 1 for CeeDee Lamb? Sound off for me in the comments of today's show. Will the Cowboys, or how many of these moves will the Cowboys end up making before the start of Cowboys training camp? Number 5, you got to sign a defensive tackle. I have made this point before. I will continue to make this point as well. I do not trust the defensive tackle room in Dallas. It's just not good enough. The depth is severely lacking. You're one injury away from Osa Odigizua to not having a good room at DT. In fact, it ends up being a pretty terrible room, all things considered. It's just not good enough. You're banking on Mozzie Smith having a huge season, and which I hope happens. But then you got Justin Rogers, a day 3 backup in there. You've got Denzel Daxon's going to be International Player Pathway Program. Can Chauncey Golston or Junior Fehoko end up emerging as more than just a weird rotation hybrid defensive end, defensive tackle piece? There's a lot of question marks in there. A lot of question marks. And I would love to find somebody that could help out this organization. So the issue is there's not a lot of good free agents. Linval Joseph, Hassan Ridgeway, Lawrence Guy, Davion Nixon got cut again. Tyson Alualu. It's a bad group. I'm sorry. It's a bad group. But I got to try something. And maybe this becomes a roster cutdown edition. You need bodies in there. You just need people. I will say that I am sorry to not put Stephon Gilmore on here. I would have loved to have made it happen, but I don't think it happens. I think he finds bigger money, bigger playing time, maybe on a worse team, maybe on a better team somewhere else. So I didn't put him on the realistic options list. So my apologies for that, but I just don't think a Gilmore move is going to go down for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we are truly officially back because the early access window for CFB 25 is opened. Let me see if the group chat's blowing up. No text yet there. First team, I already see one tweet from a buddy that says it's amazing as I hoped it would be. All right, I can't wait. Who's the first team you're going to run a dynasty with in CFB 25? I see Texas from Lone Wolf. I do the Texas is back or not back bit. I might need to extend that to do a dynasty with them and tweet out the scoreboards as well. First team you're doing a dynasty with in college football 25. Let me know. Arkansas, Texas. Tell you what, Penn State with the whiteout and Mo Bamba playing is going to be awesome. I think that they've showcased a lot of that. That's going to be really fun. Texas is in there too. Another Texas from Jay, excuse me. Sound off for me in the Oregon Ducks. That'll be fun. Oregon, I don't like playing as the great teams. That's why I'm not fully into doing Texas right now. Not fully committed to it. Oregon might be too good. Might be too good. So first team we're doing dynasty with Wake Forest, Texas Tech. Be fun. It's good to have it back. It's good. The Duck uniforms are awesome. I agree. That makes it fun. Arkansas will be fun too. I've already got one that I'm South Carolina, and apparently Nick Harbor's just wildly overpowered because he's 6'5" and has 98 speed and 98 jump or something, which he should. He's a freak athlete. He should be overpowered. So that one's That one's going to be fun. Boise, Fresno, Solano Community College. Team Builder is going to be back at some point, I think. I don't know if it's open now, but it should be a feature. So you can do it. So the Mud Dogs, do it. You do it. All right, today's super chat menu. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap, $100 for all three of them. If we get a $300 super chat, Stone gets his free PTO day. He doesn't have one yet. Chris and I got him, thanks to Anthony McMillan. Stone is still waiting to try to get one of his own. So TBD on that front. But $300, Stone gets a free PTO day. It'll be on Sunday. Chris and I are off on Sunday. We'll see if Stone has to work or not by himself. It is time for our Week 17 Madden Sim. The Dallas Cowboys on the road, December 29th at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys have a lead over the Eagles in the the records. Excuse me. They've already clinched the NFC East. A win today for the Cowboys would secure the number 1 seed. So who you got in this matchup? C for the Cowboys, E for the Eagles. Get your votes in, C or E. This would be a clean sweep entering Week 18 of the NFC East, by the way, with the Commanders still to be played one more time. This is the current playoff picture. Dallas has a 1-game lead over San Francisco. In real life, the Cowboys, the Sunday night game, are the only times known right now. So I simmed all the other regular season games, minus the Sunday night game, which is, I think, Dolphins-Browns. And the Monday night game, Lions-Niners. So the Cowboys can lose, as we'll get into, maybe find their way into the number 1 seed, but a win secures it. A couple spots open as well in the playoff picture. A lot of 8-8 teams, which maybe is a bit unrealistic, but who cares? By the way, over in the AFC, several teams have now clinched a spot. Bills, Colts, Dolphins. The Chiefs beat the Bills head-to-head, but they're not quite locked in that number 1 seed yet, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Here are more importantly, your Week 17 outcomes. Cowboys clinch the number 1 seed with a win over Philadelphia in this game. If the Cowboys lose and the Niners win, there's no clinching. Magic number's still 1, but that Week 18 game then matters. If the Cowboys lose and the Niners lose, the Cowboys then get that number 1 seed. We wouldn't know that until after this game is played because I haven't simmed it. Maybe I'll sim it here because I can do it on my laptop because I'm not using Madden for it. If they get the number 1 seed, Trey Lance starts Week 18. And Deuce Vaughn and Ryan Flournoy and Jalen Brooks. It'll be a lot of fun if they get that number 1 seed. So in real life, what seed will the Cowboys end up being in the 2024 NFL playoffs? Let me know in the comments section of today's show as we start the Madden Sim, Cowboys and the Eagles. By the way, I did make it snowy. Because how can you not? It's in Philadelphia in December. I had to make it snow. I got the Cowboys in their whiteouts, I think to give them a slight advantage. Plus, I put the Eagles in their Kelly greens. Which, boy, you can't see shit. I should not have made the Cowboys white. The Eagles didn't take the Kelly greens. What? I'm heartbroken. Great tackle by Sam Williams. That is not the Kelly greens that I wanted. That makes me sad. I really wanted the Kelly greens for Philly. That's disappointing, actually. So be it. It happens. So be it. Eagles ball to start the game. With very large breath animations, too, by the way. Like, unrealistically large there. Hurts in the... maybe I'd go into the Kelly Greens. You would not be able to see either team. Hurts on a keeper, some space, and is not going to get a lot. 2 yards as Trayvon Diggs makes that tackle initially. 2nd and 8. Oh, out of focus camera from EA. Swear to God, CFB 25 better be better. I guess I'll know by the time this is available on demand. 2nd and 8. Hurts in the shotgun. Trips right. Handoff to Barkley. Barkley only gets a couple. They're going to give him 4, but still make it 3rd and 5. All right. Madden Mike and a little pullover. 3rd, and it's a full 5. Hurts in the shotgun. Drops back, it's a blitz. Downfield, Hurts, caught. And a gain of 7 to A.J. Brown. I will say in real life, the statistically best route runner at hitches and at hitch routes, A.J. Brown. Guess who loves the hitch route? Kellen Moore. They're going to call so many hitches this year. Hurts in the shotgun. Play action, downfield, picked off, going the other way, Trayvon Diggs, the 40, the 30, the 25, taken down. Trayvon Diggs, the interception. Spam INT. Diggs delivers. Intercepts Hurts. Trying to go to, I think that was Paris Campbell? Diggs delivers the INT. And the Cowboys offense will start with fantastic field position here. Dak reels Madden Sim stats, 75.6%, 3,116 yards, 24 TDs, 6 INTs, also has 3 rushing touchdowns this year. Dak does it every time, man. With the snow coming down in Philly after a Hurts interception. Dak in the shotgun. God, I can't tell who these players are. I should not have made it snow. Drops back. Under pressure. Running the wrong way. Resetting. Tucking. Running. And is going to get 5 on that one. A big hit. Good thing injuries are turned off. 2nd and 5. Oh, I just got an alert that EA Sports CFB 25 is ready to play. Oh, let's go. All right. From inside the 20, Prescott, empty personnel, checks it down, got Tolbert. Tolbert gets a first down, type in those ones. Inside of 4 to go here. First and 10 from the 11, Prescott in the shotgun. Prescott's got all day, checks it down. Broken tackle by Lamb, and he's in! Touchdown Cowboys! CeeDee Lamb scores! A quick strike for Dallas in the snow in Philly. Type in those TDs. That's just bad defense by Philly. Bad tackling, weird schematics. There's 2 guys over there, only 1 is covered. 6-0. Extra point coming up here from Brandon Aubrey. Kick is up and good. 7-0. Dallas leaves a 3-play, just 23-yard drive, all set up by yet another Trayvon Diggs INT. He has 8 this year. He has 8. We're still trying to get Micah the sack record, though. He's got a long way to go. He's got 16. He needs a big game today and a big game week 18. I will be playing Micah Parsons no matter what, because I did turn injuries off. Real life, he'd not be playing, but to try to set the record, he's going to play. Rico Dowdle, by the way, is 85 yards away from 1K. I will not play him in week 18, so he's got to get it today. He'll be the top backup, but he's got to get it today. Kick is away. Britton Covey on the return. Philadelphia gets to the 25 and rocked by Damone Clark. Big hit there. I have injuries turned off because it would be really lame if somebody got hurt. And like doing a Madden sim and the quarterback tears his ACL for the year. Just would not be fun. All right, Hurts to the shotgun here. Eagles down 7-0 following his interception. Hurts over the middle, caught on that one. Nice catch there by, I believe that was Paris Campbell. Or is that Zacchaeus? No, it is Paris Campbell. 1st and 10. 3:10 to go here in the first quarter. Let's do it so that there you go. Nice. 7-0 Cowboys. Look at the Marks super chat here. 3 minutes to go. Hurts, comeback route, caught, and a big hit laid by Deron Bland on A.J. Brown. Mark, Tom, it was the recent wide receiver or something. I think you're referring to Tyron Billy Johnson, who kind of spent some time on the practice squad last year. He'll fight for a roster spot and really more likely a practice squad spot more than anything else. 2nd and 5. 2:35 to go in the first quarter. Screenplay. Barkley makes the catch, has some space, first down past the 45 to the 39-yard line. Technically speaking, all of Hurts's passes have been complete. Just one of them was completed to the wrong team. So, nice catch there with, can't tell a minute there's a Hooker. Damone Clark missed the tackle. Hooker made the tackle eventually. 7-0, Cowboys up here. Eagles ball past the 40-yard line. Hurts in the shotgun. Drops back. An out route. Incomplete. Tried to go to Dallas Goedert for the first time. A pass in this game hits the ground. 2nd and 10. 2:04 to go in the first quarter. Hurts. Slant. Caught. A.J. Brown gets to the 30. They're going to put him at the 29, actually. So 3rd and inches. Is Madden realistic? Because if so, it's tush-push time. Are they realistic? Then again, the Cowboys have 2 losses, so not exactly a very realistic team, if we're being honest. They're going to go shotgun. Ridiculous. Hurts keeps it. First down and more inside the 20. 2 carries, 12 yards for Jalen Hurts in this one. So mad they're not in the Kelly Greens. So mad. First and 10. Hurts. Handoff. Barkley right up the gut. Gets hit hard, but it's a first down. I'll give Madden credit on this point. The run defense is bad. Stayed bad all year. So 1st and goal, the waning moments here of the first quarter. Hurts will go shotgun. Trips right. Drops back. Handoff. Barkley cuts it up and he's in. Touchdown Philly. God, I wish they were in the Kelly Greens. I'm so mad about that. So a chance to tie this one up here late in the first quarter. Tackle effort was made by Malik Hooker, but that interior of the Cowboys' run defense just gets gashed game in and game out. Extra point time, up and good. So 7-7, a $5 super chat here from Mark. JH's luck is Tyron was injury battle was okay, but 2 rookies surpassed the vets. A 7th rounder to replace Hankins. A UFL receiver to replace a bust in Tolbert. Zeke at running back. I don't even know if the receiver part, Tolbert was out playing Gallup last year, so I'm not as upset about that one. You didn't get better at the defensive tackle room. I think you could be better on the offensive line later on this year, but day one, it's probably not going to be better. And maybe you get, 17 games of Guyton versus 12 of Smith, and it evens out, as this kick will be kneeled down for a touchback. Running back, I just don't trust. Chris, this is Madden 24, and I made it snow because it's December in Philadelphia, and it sounds like fun. So 1st and 10 Cowboys, first quarter still. Back to the thing again. Just so dumb. Prescott on the shotgun. 42 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Dak drops back to pass, looking, throwing off balance. Caught, first down and more. Lamb, 45, and gets to about the 48, 49-yard line. CeeDee Lamb popping off early. 2 catches, 35 yards, and a score. Oh, it's PS5. By the way. Just did the screen recording of the PS5. So 1st and 10. That's Kenny Pickett. I don't know why they're showcasing Kenny Pickett. But they always cut to Trey Lance too, so I guess it's fine. 1st and 10, possible final play of the first quarter. Prescott in the shotgun. It's a keeper for Prescott. He's going to get to the edge and get to the 45, a gain of 6. So we are tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter. We got to bust out the Cowboys turnover chain once already, thanks to a Trayvon Diggs interception. You can get the Cowboys turnover chain over at chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Link will be in the comments and the description of today's show. So second quarter of action set to resume here in the Madden Sim. From the 45. Prescott in the shotgun. Handoff to Dowdle. Dowdle gets the first down and more. Going to get hit hard, but gets to the 31-yard line. So Cowboys getting some success going on the ground. A Dak Prescott keeper, a Rico Dowdle run for about 15 yards combined, give or take. 1st and 10 Cowboys. Dak will now go under center. Handoff to Dowdle. Dowdle cuts and gets the first down past the 20. Rico Dowdle's got 2 carries, 25 yards now. Type in those ones again. First and 10. From the 19. Prescott under center. 1 receiver. Multiple tight ends. Play action. Dak throws. End zone caught. Ferguson touchdown. With a throwing motion that made 0 sense, Prescott finds Fergie for a 19-yard score. Spam those TDs in the comments, folks. Yeah, you see that? He threw it with the ball in his left hand. He threw it like the ball never got to his right hand, and he threw it for a touchdown because he was doing the play action animation. What a broken-ass game. It was wide open. That is the second TD of the year for Ferguson, but a nonsense throwing animation. This game is so bad. So 5:03 to go here in the first half. Cowboys up 14-7 now following the Ferguson touchdown. Kick is away. And brought out by Covey. He gets rocked by Sam Williams at the 25-yard line. First and 10, 5 minutes to go in the first half. Cowboys 14, Eagles 7. Oh, of course, as Dak was launching the ball from his chest cannon. That's where the ball was. It made no sense. Hurts in the shotgun. A keeper. A pancake block delivered. Hurts makes a man miss and gets to the 40. Spun down at the 42. That was kind of filthy. I'm not going to lie. That was nasty. Hurts juked the ever-loving jockstrap off of Malik Hooker. And I think that was Landon Dickerson, I think. No, it was my Lotta who laid that pancake block. Decleated somebody. Handoff is a gain of 4. 2nd and 6. 4.5 to go here in the first half. Cowboys up by 7. A win will clinch the number 1 seed and we got to start Trey Lance. I'll be honest, my hope was they were going to be locked in like the 5 seed by the time they got to week 18. They're fighting for the 1 seed. As that handoff goes for little, DeMarvion overshown, limits the Barkley 1. The run for a gain of 1. 3rd and 4. The snow's still out there. Hurts under center. Drops back to pass. Under pressure, throws downfield. Caught wide open to the 20. Devonta Smith gets a huge gain. Smith and Diggs jawing with each other. Good throw by Hurts. As Smith just got behind the linebackers and the safeties on that one. Or in front of the safeties. So 1st and 10, 3:35 to go in the first half. Hurts in the shotgun. He drops back. Now does a quick RPO pass wide open. End zone touchdown Philly. CJ Uzomah scores. A little RPO action. No one went with the backup tight end, and Philadelphia is now an extra point away from tying this football game up. Shame. F Philly in the comments. Can't say they blended in with the snow because they're wearing black. So 14-13, extra point is up and good from Jake Elliott. We are tied up at 14 now with 3:22 to go in the first half. Cowboys have a 2-for-1 chance here. Eagles got the ball to begin the game, right? Pretty sure. I don't remember. Pretty sure it was Eagles. Yeah, because they do the pick. That's right. I'm being dumb. Kick is away. Turpin back deep on the return. We'll take it from 2.5 yards from the end zone and is going to get to about 2.5 yards shy of the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the offense will come back out. 2 drives, 2 scores so far in this one with 3:18 to go. Plenty of time to not be stupid with the clock management, which we know will happen as it does in every single game. Prescott will go empty here from the 24. Drops back to pass. Quick one. Caught. First down. Cooks. Picks up about 15 on that one. Type in those ones. And 16, actually. 1st and 10. Inside of 3 minutes now. Prescott in the shotgun. He has been sharp so far. Play action. Downfield. Got a man again. First down. It's Lamb. He's still loose. And he gets inside the 35. Physics be damned on that one. I don't know how he stayed up there. It didn't really make sense. Ragdoll. Prescott on a little play action deep post. Yeah, he just kept absorbing hits. 1st and 10, 2:33 to go. Ball at the 33. Another play to come at least before the 2-minute warning. Prescott. Play action. Has time. Downfield. End zone. Incomplete. Should have been picked and then should have been caught. Was way behind the intended target. A bad throw from Madden Dak. 2nd and 10. That was a heat check throw. First incompletion, I believe. So 2nd and 10 from the 33. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back. Has some time. Downfield. Start inside the 5 to Tolbert. 1st and goal at the 4. We need Madden Tolbert in real life because he has been awesome. Dak had all day back there. Finds Tolbert, who absorbs the hit and holds on. That will take us down to the 2-minute Warning. First and goal. From the 4. Dowdle the single back. Prescott, it's a pass play. Looking, hitch, caught, end zone, touchdown, it's Cooks. Dallas scores in the first play after the 2-minute warning. Do the celebration. Where's the arrow, Brandon? Come on. It's like his celebration. I know it's in the game. I've seen it before this year. They ran all hitches, by the way, and it worked. Kellen in shambles. 157. Aubrey's extra point is on its way and good. 21-7. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. 21-14, sorry, with 1:57 to go here in the first half. Remember, Dallas gets the ball to begin the second half. That is 3 TD passes are all ready for Dak in this game. He's at 24 on the season. And if they win the game, he will not play in the final week of the regular season. We're playing Trey Lance, baby. Kick is away from Brandon Aubrey. And it'll be brought out from a couple yards deep in their end zone. They get to the 20 and the 21 and not much else. So the Eagles, with timeouts and time on the clock, to march down the field knowing that the clock managed in this game is a nightmare. It's never been very good. Never been good. You'll get to 40 seconds, and if you're lucky, you get 2 plays off. Because they also don't go out of bounds. Just so frustrating. All right, 1st and 10. And that is to the 34, a first down for Paris Campbell. First and 10. Hurts with time, downfield, got a man. It's Campbell to the 40-ish. Second and 3. Second and 3. Out route caught. Barkley out of bounds. 1st and 10. A minute 01 to go. Hurts in the shotgun. With time, downfield, got a man again, past the 30. A.J. Brown in a foot race, taken down inside the 10. 1st and goal, and the clock is running. That was too easy for Philly. A.J. Brown got right by Deron Bland. (21-14). They got all 3 timeouts, and the clock is running down to 23 seconds. I actually don't mind not calling it there. Hurts, end zone, broken up, 2nd and goal. Trayvon Diggs, a good play. From the 8, can the defense get a stop here? Hurts, end zone, out of bounds. Just threw it away. 3rd and goal. That's 4-down territory for Philly. If it gets like the 4 here. 3rd and goal from the 8. It was a huge play from Hurts to Brown, and now Philly's in a 3rd and long. Hurts drops back, has time, end zone, throws it away again. 4th and goal. you're at the 8, you should probably kick the field goal. If it was like at the 4, I'd go for it. But at the 8, I'm kicking the field goal because you've had no chance. You've had 2 throwaways. They will bring out the field goal unit here. What amounts to less than an extra point is up and good. Jake Elliott trims that lead down. So 21-17. There's 8 seconds left. Imagine if Turpin houses this. Imagine if he houses it. (21-17). Remember, Cowboys get the ball to start the second half. Kick is away. It's a high kick and a deep kick to about the 9. Turpin will bring it out. Makes one man miss and gets the 24. So 4 seconds left. The Madden is showing nobody. Absolute embarrassment. Don't know why it's showcasing that, to be quite honest. They will kneel. I like that. I like that. That's fine. That's fine. R14 had house call for 100 again. Could you imagine? All right, second half will begin here momentarily. This is our Super Chat menu. You know what? Haven't had any big Super Chats today. Outside of the Stone PTO Day, everything counts double. So first 20 is 2 shots. First 50 is 2 beer bongs or 2 tortilla slaps or 1 of each. First 100 is 2 of each of a bong, slap, and shot. And if someone gets 300, Stone will get that free PTO day for CFB 25. TBD if that'll happen. You might have to work Sunday. We shall see on that front there. So 2 for 1 for the first one on that Super Chat menu for today's show. The Cowboys holding a lead in the second half. They will get the ball to start here. A win locks them in to the number 1 seed, which means we get to play Trey Lance against the Commanders in Week 18, which will be electric. There's Nick Sirianni. He'll probably talk trash after the game to fans. The most Philly man ever is the Philly coach. (21-17). Elliott on for the kickoff here. The snow coming down at Lincoln Financial Field. I wanted the Eagles to be in their Kelly Greens. I'm mad it did not. Kicks away. Brought out by Turpin from his goal line. Turpin is going to get to about the 27. The Cowboys offense coming back out there. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns so far in this one. All 3 through the air from Dak Prescott. He's been really sharp so far. He did the thing again. Prescott in the shotgun. Hand off to Dowdle. Dowdle is going to lower the shoulder and pick up 9 on that one. He's got 35 yards. I'm not playing him if the Cowboys win in Week 18 because I'm going to play Deuce Vaughn. As Anthony McMillan delivers! Grab me a beer. We'll get his Super Chat on screen in a minute. Anthony McMillan comes through. Yeah. Put that Super Chat up there. 1st and 10. Anthony McMillan delivering again. We'll do 2 beer bongs for that as well. Everyone spam AM. Closed off. There we go. 1st and 10 Cowboys. Ball at the 40. Prescott the handoff to Dowdle. Dowdle will pick up 5 on that one. 2nd and 5 coming up. Anthony McMillan says, enjoy your PTO, Stone. Can't be the only one at work. Stone says thank you behind the scenes, by the way. Beer bong number 1 coming up. Prescott slant caught by Lamb. First down. 9 of 10 for 148 and 3 scores. Close that off, right? Yeah, we're good. Been a nightmare otherwise. 21-17. So 21-17. Sorry. Graphical error. We have to edit that one on the fly. Handoff to Dowdle. Dowdle is going to get to the 40. Picks up 4. 6 for 48. Oh, good. That's on the outside. It was like dirt. I thought it was on the inside. I thought to be nervous for a second. Thought it was not dirt. 2nd and 6. Keep spamming AM in the comments. Dak downfield. Caught by Cooks for a first down. Ecuador, man, the 300 doesn't double count. I do the beer bongs because it's fun. But the 300 was specifically for Stone's PTO. 1st and 10. Prescott. Seam shot. Got him in. Tolbert. Is he in? No. Down at the 1. Jalen Tolbert. We need Madden Tolbert in real life. 3 for 50. I mean, to be fair, there's a linebacker on him in coverage. Seam God is right, Alex. That is, frankly, one of their better throws. Is it Zeke time? That's fair, too. That's fair. Dowdle in the game. 1st and goal from the half-yard line. 3 tight ends left. It's a pass. Prescott, why not a 4th passing touchdown? It's Fergie again, doubling his season touchdown total. I think you can give Prescott the MVP of this one as long as the Cowboys don't choke and blow it. 4 touchdowns on the day. Extra point is up and good. (28-17). 2:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Alex is choke and blow. Yeah, that's fair. 28-17, 2:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Get to We Don't Wife These 304 super chat here momentarily. Kick is away from Brandon Aubrey. And Covey will bring it out from a yard deep in his own end zone. Gets the 20 and not much further to about the 24. So Eagles down by 11 about midway into the 3rd quarter with our 6-minute quarter sims. We Don't Wife These 304 says, you and Trump are my heroes. Reading that off will be as political as I will get because I hate politics. It's not fun. I don't like it. If you want to like it, that's fine. I can't stand it. 1st and 10 for Hurts. He's on a keeper here. And Malik Hooker brings him down for no gain. Might have been a loss of a little bit there. Hooker coming barreling in. 2nd and 10. Hurts with time over the middle. Caught. A.J. Brown broke a tackle too. Held on to it. 1st down, Philly. So 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dallas clinging to an 11-point lead. The offense has been perfect today. The defense got a stop on 3rd down and goal and a turnover, and it's been enough. Hurts in the shotgun. It's a keeper. Trying to get to the left side. Makes a man miss. And Micah Parsons brings him down, but past midfield. The running game for Philly, specifically Jalen Hurts keepers, has been sharp. And that's also pretty viable for real life, too, because they don't get stops there. So Hurts' running has worked well. 1st and 10, just past midfield. Hurts, handoff, Barkley, not a ton there, is going to get 2. Eagles are getting closer to 100 yards of total rushing. Barkley's got about 32. Hurts is like in the 40s. Down by 11, they don't have to stop running, but they got to get 7 on this drive. I think it is 4-down territory. Hurts looking downfield. Got a man. It's A.J. Brown to the 30. Hurts has 204 passing yards. Eagles have moved the ball pretty well on offense. They have the extra drive right now. First and 10. Hurts in empty. Quick one, caught by Devonta Smith. A gain of 4. I think Jordan Lewis made the tackle. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter here. Second and 6 at the 27. Handoff to Barkley. First down past the 20 to the 19. So Barkley's got 42 yards on what I think will end up being the final play of the fourth quarter. We'll make sure that's the case here. No reason to miss a play on accident. It is the final play of the fourth quarter. You guys can get the Cowboys turnover chain, which we got to use in the first quarter with Diggs. Love to bust it out one more time, maybe on this drive. By going to chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Eagles trail 17-28, but they are marching the ball down the field. They are in the red zone. Hurts is in the shotgun here. Hurts drops back to pass. Seam shot or end zone shot over, missed him. He had Smith. Devonta Smith got open on an end zone shot, and Hurts missed him. That was 6. Got behind the defense. From the 19, Eagles will go with a tight formation. Receiver out to the boundary. Hurts, play action. Rolls right, throws, incomplete again. He had him open. As Trayvon Diggs celebrates an errant throw that he did nothing to cause. Very realistic for corners. 3rd and 10, what I would argue is 4-down territory. Trying to get a field goal, an extra point, or 2-point try and touchdown is a lot. Hurts, pressure coming, hit as he throws, incomplete. Osa Odigizua got the pressure. Bull rushed the right guard. And 4th and 10, maybe you do kick the field goal here. Madden is sending out Jake Elliott for the field goal try. Kick is up and good. So it is an 8-point game. Elliott has made 2 field goals. And those 8 points, the 8-point swing, matter a lot. So as a quick reminder, everything counts double for the first one on the Super Chat menu. $20 is 2 shots. 50 is 2 beer bongs or a tortilla slap or one of each. 100 is 2 of all 3. 28-20. Cowboys offense has not been stopped once today. Kick is away. Turpin will bring it out from 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Turpin, the 20, the 25, and taken down at the 30-yard line. You'd like to bleed some clock, but unless your defense gets a turnover, they've been a little slow. Defense has not done a great job of stopping them beyond, they're in between the 20s. How about that? 28-20. Too early. Way too early on that one. I can't figure it out. I can't get the timing down. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Prescott in the shotgun. Dowdle to his right. It's a pass. Prescott downfield. Incomplete. Tried to go to Brandon Cooks. Was probably a little bit underthrown and led to a big hit. The clock will stop. 2nd and 10. Prescott. Slant caught by Lamb for a first down. That's 13 of 15 for 200 yards and 4 scores. CeeDee Lamb first down. Clock will run. By the way, 28 points is a lot in this game in the sim. I think that 31 would be the second most. Prescott check down to Lamb, who's going to get 0 yards? What? I don't know about that one there, Jim. That looked like a lot more than 0 yards. I mean, it's okay. It's like that first down marker's whatever. Dak, seam shot, ball don't lie to Ferguson. 1st and 10 Cowboys. I don't know, Jim. Yeah, that's the Romo. In the lexicon these days. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Dak is absolutely dealing in this one. Offense on fire. From the 32. 4:20. Lays it to go. Prescott drops back to pass. Takes an end zone shot. Oh, he missed him. He had Cooks and he overshot him. He wanted that 5th passing touchdown. Does not connect. 2nd and 10. Clock stops. Prescott, 2nd and 10. Throws, caught. Cooks is going to get 8 on that one. 3rd and 2. Inside of 4 to go. Empty personnel here for the Cowboys. It's bold cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him. Slant, caught. Lamb holds on to, Cooks holds on to a big hit. 1st and 10. $3:25 to go. They're going to go shotgun set here. I don't think Dowdle's going to get to his 1,000 yards. Dropped by Ferguson. A lot of contact there. Tough catch to make. But that is a drop for Fergie. 3:17. The clock will stop again. Cowboys in the Eagles' red zone. Empty. They're just saying F. We're going to throw it in the snow, apparently. F them runs. Prescott, quick one. Caught by Cooks. He picks up 8. Dak is 18 of 22 for like 240 yards and 4 scores. He dealing. Can almost double the sim stats to get the realistic stats. Although maybe it's like 1.75 or so, or like 1.5. I don't know. They're going to go heavy personnel. The clock is running. Prescott, play action, rolling right, looking, check down, caught. Lipke, did he get it? Yes, they'll give him the first down. First down, Hunter Lipke on play action. Dallas is now in chew clock mode. This will take us down to the 2-minute warning. What a long drive this has been. How about your 4-minute offense has been run to perfection? 1st and goal from the 8. Power set for Prescott. Handoff. Elliott. Elliott is in untouched. Touchdown, Cowboys. That is the easiest score of Elliott's life from 8 yards out. Nobody got a finger on him. Untouched. Dallas basically puts this one on ice. Spam those TDs. Damian Wilson sighting for the first time all sim season. This to make it 35-20. I believe the second most points of the season in a sim game. It's an 11-play, 68-yard drive. Took off over 3.5 minutes. And now Philly, 3 timeouts, is in desperation territory here. 1:57 to go. Cowboys offense had 5 drives. Scored on every single one of them. Aubrey's kick is away. And Neal down, a touchback from Britton Covey, who looks upset by it, but was clearly the right call. He was 5 yards deep. Silly. Hurts has 1 interception so far. The Eagles have moved the ball well, but 2 drives that stalled out in the red zone were killers. First and 10. Every time, man. Better not be in CFB 25. That's all I'll say. So first and 10. Hurts in the shotgun. Drops back. Quick one. Caught. Diving catch made by Paris Campbell. It's a nice catch, but the clock is going to run. Tick, 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 tick. No huddle, they say. Hurts. Under pressure, rolling right, throws. Picked off! Who else? It's Trayvon Diggs again! His 9th interception of the season. In the sim season. Hurts does it again. Diggs the interception. That's ball game, baby. At least make them call their timeouts. Trayvon Diggs delivers it. 9 INTs this season. How about them Cowboys? Get 1 first down, we can go home. Handoff. Dowdle going to get a yard. Timeout Philly. Trayvon Diggs to 9 INTs. I will say, though, it's going to require a Herculean effort from Micah Parsons to set the record. 0 sacks in his last 2 games. He'll be stuck at 16. A good season, though. I'm going to play Mike in the final game. I will not be playing Diggs. Dowdle going to lose a yard on that one. 3rd and 10. Go ahead and throw it, I think. I think you throw this. Because you're still up by 15. You just want to ice it. It's still going to be impossible for Philly to score, I think, twice. They'll go maybe I'm open to a draw as well. 3rd and 10. Prescott. It's a play action. Pressure coming. Throws off balance and makes it to Ferguson. Timeout Philly. It doesn't matter. It's ball game. I don't know if Dak can actually make that throw in real life. That is an off balance, rolling the wrong way across your body throw. I don't know if he can actually throw that. Damn, Dakota. What a game. They'll kneel down twice. I wish we had the sim kneel down. You know, that CFB 25 is going to have. Prescott will kneel, -2 yards. Second and 11. One more kneel down to come. Dallas will run, and we'll show Nick Sirianni spiking it after the game is well and truly over. Dallas has clinched the number 1 seed, which means Trey Lance in Week 18 against the Commies. I can't wait. I cannot wait for it. They come out in a kneel down because, they're going to Miami Hurricanes this bad boy. 35-20. Dallas takes care of business on the road in the snow. Number 1 seed locked in. How about them Cowboys? There's Big Mike, who his proportion is not right. He's got all the weight in his hips. I guess they're not going to show it. There you go. Game over. I thought they were going to show Sirianni. I think we kind of got caught off guard there. 260 and 83.3% for Dak if you didn't see it. Who was the Week 17 MVP? Diggs was great, 2 INTs. He wins defensive MVP. I think it has to be Dak, though. Let me know in the comments section of today's show who was the Week 17 Cowboys MVP. One last call before we go for the Cowboys legend voting. LR for Laurent Robinson. KO for Kevin Ogletree. RS for Ryan Switzer. LL for Lance Lenoir. And DS for Devin Street. Ogletree, by the way, has 40% of the vote. So get those comments in for me in the comment section of today's show. Who you got? Drop that answer for me in the comments of today's show. And make sure you guys are subscribed. Back live again on Thursday. Trey Lance starts. Cowboys have a bye in the postseason. Then they get the rest of the regular season to play things that are the postseason. They're going to lose the first round. I can feel it in my bones. They're going to lose in the divisional round. It's like the Lions. I can feel it in my bones. But we'll be live for them. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out.